Black, what do you think of Fleece Johnson?
Who's Fleece Johnson?
I was gambling one day, and he whispered in my ear, said, I want to tell you something. I said, what is it, babe? He said, I've been to the doctor. I said, what's wrong? He said, I'm pregnant. Man, I went nuts. I actually thought that I got him pregnant, right? 'Cause I didn't know nothing about sex, right?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So Fleece Johnson is a career inmate, a criminal or ex-felon, somebody who spent majority of his life in prison from before he was an adult. For I think he did like 40 or 50 years, something crazy like that. So Fleece Johnson first received nationwide attention when he was on this Dateline NBC docu-series with Chris Hansen.
All of them's horny, all of them got sexual desire, so what are they gonna do? You won't let them have a woman. They gonna have each of somebody's gonna have to give us some booty. And it's just that simple.
He was labeled the Booty Bandit. And essentially he was just talking about raping inmates and his life behind bars and him being intimate with men, some by choice and some by force. They mostly highlighted the by force part. I guess it was more salacious. But it turns out that a lot of times it was just he was just dating guys in there. Like he said, he had his first encounter intimately with anybody was with a man behind bars when he was, like I said, he had been in prison since he was a young teenager all the way through adulthood. And so the Chris Hansen doc shed light on that, and it was an interesting story that the people thought was funny, and it also got replayed on the cartoon The Boondocks.
A man's butt, booty, getting some booty is more important than eating food. It's more important than drinking water. If I see a man I like, I tell him like this here: I like you, and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours. What you want? What's it gonna be?
And we all laughed about it, partly because how funny or how ridiculous it was in real life made it funny as a cartoon, which the Boondocks was great at highlighting. So, but the funny thing about it is we laugh about it and we realize that this guy was actually really raping people for 30 years, or at least that's what he was being portrayed as on Dateline and then on the Boondocks, which is crazy enough. But what has resurfaced is he got released from prison eventually after being a lifelong person in prison. Like I said, again, 40 years he had been in prison. I'm pretty sure it was at least 40 years. Now he's like a 60-year-old man or something like that. And for some reason, he's getting a lot of interviews since he's been out. I think he's been out for like 5 or 6 years, and he's still an internet sensation. And it's kind of weird that because in no other circumstance would the convicted, known and notorious rapist would be an internet sensation that we thought was funny, and he's on everywhere from No Jumper to Gangsta Williams and everything in between of him doing interviews about being a rapist and weird sex stories in prison. And it's not funny, but what I'm laughing at is the state of just internet and what we consume, where this could be entertainment and that people would pay this guy. Like, this guy's making a living getting paid to tell these stories about his life. And it's like really a sad story. And it's just interesting that it gets this much pub to the point where every other day now I see a clip. And I don't know what that says about my algorithm that's in my clip. And I'm not claiming to be some holier than thou person. This shit is funny, and it shouldn't be. And I think that conversation is more why it is funny and why we find it entertaining and why is it entertainment. But Fleece Johnson, the booty bandit, as he was listed on the Boondocks, which is crazy to say the least. Um, Most times when things that come across my feed and then I share on my YouTube or share with people and have conversations about, I realize it's a reflection on what I consume and what I think is entertainment, because your algorithm is going to basically mirror the things that you click on and what you think is entertainment. So it just makes me question myself and wonder, like, hey, why is this on my algorithm and why is this entertaining to me? And I think that this is a great example of why we should all look at our algorithm, look at ourselves, and wonder, why is this entertaining to us? And because at this point we've kind of gone too far, you know what I mean, where we think this is entertainment. But I don't know, man. I don't want no trouble, man. This kid is black. Like and subscribe. Tell me what you think.
I said, oh, goddamn. I said, look, man, somebody take my hand over. I picked him up in my arm and swung him around. I said, did they tell you if it's a boy or a girl? He said, no, not yet. And so it got so bad that the warden at the prison had me brought to his office. And I said, look, warden, I know I can't keep the child here at the prison, so I'm wondering if y'all could put my child somewhere where I can get some visitational rights. And he just looked at me like saying he's sick, you know. And he had a therapist and this lady, she said, well, I want to talk to you, Mr. Johnson. I said, about what? She said, about your child. I said, what about my child? You don't have, I said, look, man, who's this bitch? And I'm ready to go off, right? And it took me, they had to take me through a whole bunch of mental stuff before I realized that he wasn't pregnant, because he put something up under his t-shirt and made his belly big. And when I tried to touch it, he said, get away from me. Don't you touch it. You ain't got the right to touch this baby, because you the one to say you didn't want it, and you let everybody tell you I wasn't pregnant. But nigga, you looking at my stomach right now. What you think now? I cried everything, man.
Subscribe to Jus'Black TV for bullshit and madness.
Don't take it personal. Let's either agree or disagree, or even just meet in the middle. People struggle with conversation these days. So let's have conversations and find common ground. And let's meet in the comment section.
Subscribe to Jus'Black TV for bullshit and madness.